Yes, it's true. I have been purchasing and testing a lot of brand new makeup, but here's the rub. There are certain products that are bestsellers and award winners that I have been wanting to try for some time, but I couldn't bring myself to pull the trigger on buying these sometimes very expensive full size products, so I bring you the babies. Yes, these are miniature sizes of some of these products that we're going to be playing with today. I have a YSL lip balm, a mascara from Sweed. We have the Vanish concealer from Hourglass, as well as one of their newer liquid blushes. And finally, I have the Baby Bake Huda powder in its brand new packaging. Many of these products promise to be long wearing, so this is actually going to be a wear test today. I am also going to be rolling in some of the new exciting products that I have been testing. I hope all of this sounds good to you. If it does, keep watching as we get into mini makeup. All right, guys, we are going to be starting off today with one of our mini products, and that is because I cannot stand another moment without applying something to my lips. So I present to you the YSL Candy Glow Tinted Butter Balm. This is available in 9 shades. I got mine in Nude Lavalier, the sheer pink nude. This is a big risk here for me getting this shade because in the blushes that they had released in the spring, Nude Lavalier is actually the shade that I wanted. So we'll see if this sort of pushes me over the edge to feeling like I must have that blush. This is described as a smooth, buttery lip balm providing soft shine and a sheer flush of color infused with shea butter and maracuja oil for smooth, hydrated lips. I'll tell you, this is one of those pH adjusting products, meaning that it supposedly reacts with your body's chemistry to create a totally unique shade just to you. So let's get this on and see how it feels. It does have a slight scent to it, not overwhelming at all. Just a little bit sweet. Smelling, not tasting. There's no taste here. I think that it is a very beautiful product when first applied. Definitely added some color, even though it is a sheer sort of pink nude. And I do think my lips look nicely hydrated. We'll see how this sort of develops because, of course, it is supposed to create a unique shade for my chemistry. So I don't know how long it's going to take for that pH adjusting magic. While we let that do its thing, we are going to move on to an eyeshadow look. I should say an eyeshadow liner look using two of the new sort of exciting viral products that I've added to my collection. I am talking about the Desert Gleam eyeshadow palette from Lisa Eldridge. Today, we are going to be using this stunning gold shade, which I did not use in my review, so it is time. And then I also, as a contrast against that gold, want to use this liquid liner and eyeshadow product from Violette FR in this stunning black blue. For that eye look, I am going to use my Dew Forever winged eye masks, and I am going to start out by applying my triple hyaluronic acid serum from Beauty Pie. I will list all the products that I'm using today down in the description box. These eye masks were limited edition, and I really hope that they bring them back as permanent items, guys, because if you didn't get these and doing winged eye looks makes you a little bit nervous, you don't feel quite skilled, I really think you would enjoy having these. And they do really help with that under eye hydration, and of course, also with catching fallout that could fall more sort of on the top of your cheeks. I am inclined to begin with the eyeliner. And I'll tell you why. Because I feel like it's more likely that I will need to do more sort of cleanup on the top edge to get the line exactly the way that I want. I am going to start with a dot right out here. Oh, and I did get my lashes. I'm going to pull that off my lashes quickly before it dries because this stuff does dry down pretty quickly. And now I am going to start smudging this out with my really tiny pencil brush from Rephr. And I think that the order of business here, as I sort of think through this a bit more, is going to be to create the eyeliner, maybe not as deep as I plan on for the final look. Oh God, off the rails already. Talking and lining. They don't mix. It's like drinking and driving, talking and lining. um, Here's the good news. I can clean it up. I'm going to get my liner down and not necessarily worry about it being as deep and dark as I want. And then I'm going to apply the gold eyeshadow from Lisa Eldridge, and then I will go back in with a second layer of the liquid eyeliner to deepen it up and sort of sharpen things as well. I do think you have to be a little more skilled. Just want to be honest with you guys, okay? I think you have to be a little more skilled to use this product. That doesn't mean if you aren't skilled at doing liquid eyeliner, especially a winged look, it doesn't mean don't buy it. It just means that you should anticipate that there is going to be a learning curve. I've just sort of decided that this is going to be a fun way for me to practice that. And this is already pretty much dried down. I think I already need to do a little bit of cleanup. I have that great cleanup brush from KJH Spectrum. I am pouring some micellar water into the palm of my hand. And now I am cleaning up my edge a bit. Trying. That line is probably good for where we want to be going into the second step, which is applying this gold eyeshadow. I am going to use a finger to apply this because I just think that I'm not going to get the intensity of the shadow that I want if I use a brush. Now, what's tough about that is that I have a lot less precision using my finger. So I think what I'm going to do is try to start maybe higher up. We may go on the other eye. I may do it the totally opposite order just to see if that's actually easier. Because I do want this gold showing up all the way down to the blue so that we get that cool contrast. I think I am going to grab a brush now and try to intensify closer to the lash line. I have a shader brush here. Let's see how much of this I can actually pick up on here. So I'm wiggling it back and forth, and you can see there's not a lot there on the brush. But I think it's enough to get the intensity I'm looking for right there. So excited about that. And yes, I do have some golden flakes down in my blue. But that is why we will go in with a second layer. So there's where we are right now. Now I am going to go back in with a second layer of the eye paint. Just picking up some of that product. I want to get at its deepest and darkest right at the root. Oh no! Okay. I think that we are going to leave that right there, and I'm inclined to go ahead and pull off this eye mask so we can see what we've got. There's no eye paint on the eye mask itself. I could have gone without, I don't know. I love the blue and the gold. I think it is so cool looking. And I am just gonna take what is left on this brush. I am trying to go really lightly here, guys. Okay, light is hard. I should have maybe wiped my brush off first. See, this is all learning. Please learn from my mistakes. That's what I'm here for. I am doing the trial and error so that maybe you can avoid things that I do. Just trying to smudge that out a bit with my finger because I don't really want a harsh line there. I do feel like this process worked. So I'm going to do eye number 2 off camera up to the point of mascara because we do have new mascara to try. So I will be right back. This I will be done like magic. Okay, now that I have applied the blue eye paint as well as the gold eyeshadow to the other eye, and you may be able to tell they look slightly different, I want to tell you what I have learned today from this entire process, because again, I want to help you avoid my mistakes. So the first thing, and you probably already know this, is that whenever you're applying, I think especially a liquid eyeliner, to start in the outer corner and start as thin as you can, because if you start really thick out here, you're going to end up having to go thicker all the way in. And I do think that this is thicker than really I would want. I don't think this looks bad. It's just that when I did this one and was able to get a thinner line, I was a bit happier with the way that it turned out. The other thing that I would say is to try to use as little of this product as you can. If you have a ton of this on and you're moving it around a lot, pulling on your eye, that kind of thing, the product will actually start to sort of crack. And it is designed to be really long wearing, and that's probably a function of that sort of formulation. I didn't notice that over here. I used far less of the product over here. The final thing I'm going to say, and I could change my mind on this because I'm going to keep playing with this. I think these are better maybe as eyeshadows. If you know that what you're looking for is a blue eyeliner, that you should just buy a blue eyeliner. You could probably get more of sort of a paintbrush style applicator that is thin, as opposed to this thicker spongy tipped applicator that's going to be thicker, and you can't I mean, you can apply directly, but you're going to end up having to do cleanup. You know, maybe only look to these if you intend to use them as eyeshadow. I will continue to test. I will let you know if I change my mind, but that's where the jury is right now. That's where the jury is. And with that, we are getting into mascara. So I picked up 2 mascaras from Sweed. They were running a deal where if you bought one of the mascaras at full price, you got a mini for free, which is valued at $16. This is described as a clean mascara that gives maximum volume and limitless length in a blink. The unique Cloud Mascara Wand delivers a beautiful volumizing effect and precisely separates each and every lash from root to tip for a dramatic fan-like effect that takes your lashes beyond your imagination. So we are going to apply this today. I'm going to curl the lashes. Let's zippity-doo-dah through this mascara, shall we? If I didn't mention, and I may have, the full size of this is $30. So that is somewhat in line with other mascaras that I use. Don't think it's ridiculously expensive, especially if it performs well. I do feel I'm able to get all the way at the root without making a mess. And I think I'm getting good separation and length. So here's what we're looking like with one coat. I think it looks really pretty. Let me test to see if I can use this on my bottom lashes, because I would really love to get away from having to purchase a separate mascara for my bottom lashes. So tilting of the head down is important so that you're less likely to get mascara on your skin. That's how we are looking now, top and bottom. And I am going to add another coat to see if we can get some volume without them starting to clump together. Oh no, I've got a hair. Hold on. Whew, uh-oh. I am getting some little balls of mascara at the end of some of my lashes. I was noticing it on the bottom, but I can see it on the top now. And while no one else can probably notice that, I can't stand it, so I had to get them off. So I do feel like I've got some clumping now, in particular over here. So it may be that 2 coats is not pour moi, but I'll be testing this out to see, and of course I'll see how it wears throughout the day. We are ready to move on to some complexion products, but almost all of my minis, well, certainly half, were in the complexion category. I am going to start out with my House Labs foundation. I feel like my skin is not looking great today, and then I've got 2 things going on there. Number one, I started to use my NuFace device again this morning. I kind of gotten out of that when I started to use the red light mask and the products from Allies of Skin. Now that I've kind of seen what those products can do for me, I definitely want to try to sort of get a little more lift using my NuFace device. I do find I'm a little bit sensitive to the gel that's from NuFace that you use as sort of that conducting serum that you have to put on your face before you roll the device over. And so my face is a little bit irritated from that. And then the other thing is I am testing a new moisturizer from Medicate, and it is pilling a little bit. And so I also had kind of had to work to get all that pilling off. Let's do concealer now. You guys, I have been wanting to test this Hourglass concealer for such a long time. This is a mini of the Vanish Airbrush concealer. I got mine in the shade Birch, which is quite possibly the lightest shade that they offer. This is described as a full coverage, weightless, and waterproof concealer. It is designed to blur and brighten for up to 16 hours of skin perfection. Now, let me just tell you, our wear test today is not going to be 16 hours. If this really lasts that long, I will be shocked. I'll be shocked. I mean, I've heard people rave about this concealer for some time, but 16 hours? It is supposedly crease resistant and light reflecting, and it diffuses the look of pores and fine lines. Let's give it a go. There is the applicator there, and I am going to start with a dot there and a dot there, and grab my favorite concealer brush from BK Beauty and start to work this in. So this is a full coverage concealer. So it should have really great coverage, but I am worried about creasing and such, even though it says that it doesn't. We'll see how well this works for mature skin. I always get red right here in the outer corner of my eye. So I always feel like I need concealer there, which is not great because, of course, at my age, that's where I'm working on some of my favorite wrinkles. I would seriously consider getting some Botox, but I'm terrified to do it. Just the other day, I saw a photo of someone who had an allergic reaction and their face was so jacked up. I'm like, this is just too much of a risk. I know tons of people do it and have no problems, but I also have an autoimmune disease, which means I already have to worry about everything that I put in my body, freaking my body out, and my body going on an absolute rampage. So we've got our concealer on. Doesn't look cakey or anything right now, but we'll see how that goes. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Stick in Halftone. Since we are working with a lot of cream products today, I thought it would be good to throw in this cream product. Just a little bit here and a little bit here. I'm testing out not putting my contour as far back. And this is a Rephr brush, as I imagine you could guess. This is a Rephr 35, which I love for cream contour. We are going to move into blush. So the blush that I have today is the Hourglass Unreal Liquid Blush. I have the mini, which means it comes in a very different delivery system. I'm actually glad that I get to test this with a little applicator like this. This comes in 7 shades. I got mine in Scene, which is a soft, warm pink. And here are the claims. This liquid blush visibly plumps with hydration and delivers unreal, buildable color for a natural finish that stays in place for up to 12 hours. 12. Again, we are not doing a wear test that is that long, but 12 hours? Really? I have my favorite blush brush around here somewhere. Yes, that is my BK Beauty 109. I think that this is not a really pigmented blush, so I'm going to commit the cardinal sin and risk just putting a couple of dots here. And we shall see. Okay, yes, it's fairly thin. So I think that was a good calculated risk. Does not look too dark immediately. If this had been the Rare Beauty liquid blush, that would have been it. I'd have to wash my whole face. So dot, dot. And this BK Beauty brush is designed for liquid and cream products, so it is perfect for this kind of blush. So, do my cheeks look plumper? Because supposedly this plumps the cheeks. That sort of shocked me as a claim, I have to admit. I do feel like some of my foundation lifted where I applied this. So that's one thing. Let's do a little bit more because we want to see, is it true that it is buildable? I'm going to do this on one side, and I am not going to use that brush. I am going to use my finger. So this is more blush than I would wear, maybe. Maybe. I just want to see if how it blends out when applied with the finger. And also, because of that risk of lifting away your foundation. So I think we can agree that this is buildable. So that claim is true. Again, I cannot say whether or not this plumped my cheeks. Feel free to leave a comment to tell me if you think that my cheeks look plumper. But I do think it is a really pretty natural looking blush. So I am happy with that. Sorry, gotta fluff the hair. You can only judge how your blush looks if you fluff the hair. I don't know if you know that, but I just felt like I needed to share it. I think it's time for powder. And I gotta say, I am pretty excited about this product because this is another one that I have been wanting to try forever. This is the Huda Beauty Baby Bake. So this is the Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder in the miniature format. And recently they redesigned the packaging. So this is what it looks like now. It used to have this screw off cap that had the puff built in. Now it screws off, has a little puff inside. Can my finger even fit inside the puff? Yes, thank goodness, because it's stretchy. There's the little puff there. Other thing that is new about this packaging is apparently you can't pop this out. So let's see, find some sort of implement. If there's an easy way to pop this out, I haven't found it. Oh wait, I see a little groove in the side. So, oh, okay. So yeah, that didn't go quite as planned. Yes, I have powder all over my face. Be warned, you need a smock if you're gonna open this. Now, I don't know where the lid went. Like it flew, the lid flew somewhere. I literally had to stop recording and watch back what I had recorded to look for evidence that would help me locate the lid. I could not find it, but fear ye not, I have found it. It is back in. Part of the reason I wanted to try this is because, well, one, people rave about this being an amazing loose setting powder. But, you know, the OG of the Prism Libre powder that is sort of the matte version is no more. And I just feel like I need to start setting myself up for using a different powder because I'm guessing I won't be able to get that again. Hopefully they bring it back. I got Sugar Cookie. I really was torn about whether or not to get this lightest shade or sort of the pinky shade, not the ube. This does not come in any of the special shades like the ube. I feel like on my skin tone, pink powder does not have the brightening effect that it does on someone with more medium skin tone. So I went ahead and went with the Sugar Cookie. Oh my God, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I said it, so now it's not gonna happen. Quickly, before we apply this to my very dewy looking face, this is described as a lightly pigmented, silky setting powder that bakes and sets, blurs the look of fine lines, and locks in makeup for 10 hours with an airbrushed finish. So 10 hours is what we are going to test against today. You know what? Let's test 9 hours. 9 hours. The powder should be good, and the blush and the concealer, which supposedly lasts much, much, much longer, should be, I mean, fab. Should still be fab at the 9-hour mark. So let's remove the glasses and test out this powder. I think what I'm going to do, because I did watch some vids on this, is I'm going to shake, shake, shake. I've got the little puff out. And now I'm going to see how much powder do I have that came out. None. I have none. Am I doing this wrong? Did I not remove something? Hold on. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Oh, helps if you remove, you know, the little thing in here. Oh, there it comes. Shake, 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 shake. And now let me see how much powder I have. Whoa. Massive shaking not necessary, but look, I have just a little bit in the cap here. I'm going to tap into the cap. This is really pretty cute, you guys. This puff is pretty freaking cute. You're gonna powder one side of my face first. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. Now I get it. Let's pick up a little bit more. Boop, 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 boop. I went too far right here, but that's okay because we're going to test my ability to sort of brush that away. Because this is for baking too. I'm not a baker, guys. And I ain't just talking about cookies. Sort of going down the center here so we can look at the two different sides. So let's get a close up. I don't know if you guys will be able to see with this lighting, the side by side, like right up here of the way the powder has sort of transformed. And I mean, for sure down here. Okay, let's go ahead and powder the rest of my face. Oh, whoa, I did too much. Too much. Yeah, but pressing it in. Okay, this stuff is good. Stuff is good. Y'all are like, welcome to the party. We've been there. We've been wondering when you were going to show up. Okie dokes. I am going to kind of just gotta make sure it doesn't look too powdery. Kind of working everything together. And I just love this little puff. It's so cute. Okay, so we are gonna do lips. I applied our YSL lip balm to get some color and some hydration. You can see that it did leave a little bit of a stain behind. This is where I am going to roll in the final truly new hyped product, which is the Lip Nectar from Violette FR. I am going to line my lips. I never do this, but I'm going to do it. This is the lip liner from Pat McGrath. This is in Divine Rose. If you haven't used Pat McGrath Labs lip liner, this stuff is incredibly long wearing. So I am going to now just kind of smudge that out a little bit with my finger. Just because I don't really want a harsh line there. I want it to be a little bit blurred. And now we are going to go in with our lip nectar. So again, this is in the shade Bétis. My experience with Batiste so far is that it really does create a long-lasting, even stain across the lips. So we are just going to roll that into our test today to see how even the stain is at the end of our 9 hours. 9 hours. I will be checking in later so that we can look at how all of these different products are wearing. I hope that you have enjoyed watching me put together this look today, and now stay tuned for our first check-in. Hi guys, you were not expecting to see me like this, but it is a Sunday afternoon and I really feel like to do a thorough test of this makeup. I need to nap in it, and that's really appropriate for my main demographic, right? I mean, we're all old enough now to know that if you can get a nap in, man, that is pure luxury. So I have been wearing this makeup now for 3 hours. I will tell you, I was out running errands as well, and that it is hotter than blue blazes in Memphis today, and not just hot, but really, really humid. So I've been out in it. I've done some other chores around the house, and it's been 3 hours. So let's take the glasses off and take a look at how everything is looking. I know I'm not in terribly bright light here, but it was really just sort of a last minute choice to grab this before I started napping. So I do feel like the pores are looking good. I'm not seeing creasing, and the lips are nicely stained. The Violet FR liner is holding up well. And guys, I gotta tell you, I really like this mascara now that I've had a chance to get a better look at it. I think the lengthening is there. So very impressed with that so far. So I am going to do another check-in post nap because I love sleeping on my face. We are really putting this makeup through the paces today. So hang on for that post nap check-in. Hi guys, it is time for another wear test check-in. My last check-in was about 2 hours ago, and that does not mean I've been napping for the last 2 hours, but I have been laying about. So here is how we are looking now. Getting closer so that we can see. I feel like overall everything is holding up pretty well. I don't see flaking happening from the mascara. My lips are still stained really well. The liner I feel like hasn't really budged. And I think the under eyes are looking pretty good. So yeah, you're better than halfway. And I am going to check in again once we hit the 9 hour mark. At that point, I would have probably even cooked dinner, meaning I'll have been in a hot kitchen. So we'll see what that results in. So hang on for that final check-in. All right, guys, we are back for the final check-in of the day. And like a crazy person, I have decided to do this under the harshest lights imaginable. These are the lights at my vanity. So I am definitely seeing every flaw, every imperfection, every sign of aging and fatigue as I get ready to wash this off and go to bed. In terms of how individual pieces held up, I feel like the liquid eyeliner hung on a lot better over here where I didn't have as much product on. I think that over here where I had a little bit too much flaked off a little bit more. So again, the lesson there is to only apply as much as you absolutely need to. I think that the lashes have held up pretty well. I'm not seeing an issue with flaking still. I don't really feel like I'm having a tremendous problem with creasing, but I mean, guys, I'm tired. It's the end of the day and my wrinkles are definitely starting to show. In terms of the lip product, I think I've still got some good stain there. Like I said, it is a really nice, even stain. It is possible that the items that worked the best over the long haul were the mascara and then the lip stain from Violette FR. So I will continue to test these products to see how well they hold up and use them with different things to see if that impacts their wear time. If you have watched this far, thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you watching my videos, and I hope that you will subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.